Chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita as it is. The Yoga of the Supreme Person. Chapter 15 describes that the ultimate purpose of Vedic knowledge is to detach oneself from the entanglement of the material world and to understand Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who understands Krishna's supreme identity surrenders unto him and engages in his devotional service.
Urdhvamulam adhe shakham ashvatham prahu avyayam chandasi yasye prananiyaha tam
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "It is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas."
Adhah cha urdhvam prasthitaah tasye shakhaah gun pravriddhaah vishay pravalaah adhah cha mulani anusantatani karmanubandhini manushya-loke.
The branches of this tree extend downward and upward, nourished by the three modes of material nature. The twigs are the objects of the senses. This tree also has roots going down, and these are bound to the fruitive actions of human society.
Narupam asyaih tatah upalabhyate na antah na cha adi na cha sampratishtha ashvatham enam suvirudhamulam asang shastren dridhen chitva tatah padam tat parimargitavyam yasmin gataah na nivartanti bhuya tam eva cha adyam purusham prapadye yatah pravrittihi prasuta purani.
The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. Thereafter, one must seek that place from which, having gone, one never returns, and there surrender to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything began and from whom everything has extended since time immemorial.
Nirmanu moha jit sang dosha adhyatma nityaah vinivritta kamaah dvandeha vimuktaah sukha dukha sange gacchanti amudhaah padam avyayam tat.
Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender unto that Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom.
न तद्भास्यते सूर्यः न शशाङ्कः न पावकाः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम.
That supreme abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world.
मम एव अंशाः जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनाः मनः षष्ठानि इन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थाने कर्षति.
The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind.
शरीरं यत् अवाप्नोति यच्च अपि उत्क्रामति ईश्वराः गृहीत्वा एतानि संयाति वायुः गन्धान् इव आस्यात्.
The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another, as the air carries aromas. Thus, he takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another.
श्रोत्रं चक्षुः स्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणम् एव च अधिष्ठाये मनः चायं विश्यान् उपसेवते.
The living entity, thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, and sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind. He thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects.
उत्क्रामन्तं स्थितं वापि भुञ्जानं वा गुणान्वितं विमूढाः नानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषा.
The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this.
यतन्त योगिं चायनं पश्यन्ति आत्मनि अवस्थितम् यतन्ताः प्रियकृतात्मानः नयनं पश्यन्ति अचेतसाः.
The endeavoring transcendentalists, who are situated in self-realization, can see all this clearly. But those whose minds are not developed and who are not situated in self-realization cannot see what is taking place, though they may try to.
Yat aditye gatam tejaha jagat bhasyet akhilam yat chandmasi yat chagno tat tejaha vidhi mahamakam.
The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me. and the splendor of the moon, and the splendor of fire are also from me.
Gamavishye cha bhutani dharayami aham ojasa pushnami cha shadhi sarva somaha bhutva rasatmaka.
I enter into each planet, and by my energy they stay in orbit. I become the moon, and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables.
Aham Vaishvanarah bhutva praninam deham ashritah pranapam samayuktah pachami annam chatruvidam.
I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and incoming, to digest the 4 kinds of foodstuff.
Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtaha mattaha samratihi jnanam apohanam cha vedeha cha sarveham eva vedyaha vedantrita vedavit eva cha aham.
I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas.
Daima purusho loke sharaha chaksharaha eva cha sharaha sarvani bhutani kutasthaha aksharaha ujyate.
There are 2 classes of beings, the fallible and the infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible, and in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible.
Uttam purushaha tu anyaha paramatma iti udahitaha yaha loktrayam avishya vibharti avyaya ishvara.
Besides these 2, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord Himself, who has entered the 3 worlds and is maintaining them.
Yasmaksharam atitaham akshratapī ca uttama athasmi loke vede ca prathitaha Purushottama.
Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in this world and in the Vedas as that Supreme Person.
Yahamamevam asammudha janati Purushottamam sahasarvavid bhajati mam sarvabhavena bharat.
Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, without doubting, is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata.
Iti guhyatamam शास्त्रम् इदम् उक्तं मया नघ एतद् बुद्ध्वा बुद्धिमान् स्यात् कृत्कृत्य च भारत.
This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures, O sinless one, and it is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection. Thus ends Chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita as it is.